We are shifting into a presentation called There's No Such Thing as Bad Weather. Great to introduce Mathew Bannister, who's the compliance manager with First Fresh. Mathew works at the intersection of food production and emergency response with a pedigree that includes pastoral production, fast-moving consumer goods, large-scale industrial food production, ink production, firefighting, and fresh produce. So that's quite a collection, Mathew. Please welcome Mathew Bannister.
Kia ora, ko ana ki tō mauka, ko tūtoko te mau ka tōku tipuna, ko taranaki te maunga, tōku tamarikitanga, ko titarangi te maunga e noho ai. Ko makawhi o te awa, ko tūraka waka a Maui te marae, ko kai tāhu rau a Māmui o Kuiwi. I'm Mathew Bannister, and it's a pleasure to speak to you all here today. So from a video, it's easy to understand that I actually cover a few places around the country, such as I currently live in Gisborne, grew up under the slopes of Taranaki, and also go back to South Westland, which are those beautiful pictures on the left-hand side. All of those things have got all the natural hazards that we've heard about today, about climate change and weather and earthquakes and volcanoes and all the things that our New Zealand food system is designed to deal with, because we've got plans for that. But as food professionals, we have to really consider the other really mundane events like cyber attack, wastewater failure, food recall, contamination events, notifiable illness, bomb threats, loss of certification. These are all classified what I call as high velocity events. And the reason we have food safety and safe food is because business as usual that we have is designed to produce safe food. No one has set up their food business to go, I'm going to make a factory which will kill 100 people a year. No matter what, I'll have a really resilient system. It will produce dangerous food. The moment we get outside of business as usual conditions, all those bets that you've built in, all those aspects of your design are gone. All your assumptions are gone, because you've never built a business to deal with the fact that you can't access any of your information in your IT system. You haven't built your business to deal with the fact the council has got a boil water notice if you were a cafe in Rototuna recently, or Havelock North. And the worst thing is that we always try to flex our business to actually take it into account. We'll just manage our way through. When business as usual breaks down, people start to do what they feel is the right thing. So is your food safe when your business is not operating as usual? No worries.
I'm just trying to share it with people online. You go next.
You go. Okay, so there are the conditions. We know that we don't have a safe food business the moment we're off the reservation. We've gone into a new environment altogether. So we need to take some actions. For those of you involved in emergency management, this will be repeating from the gospel of coordinated incident management systems. For those people, that's the hint. You can go and look up a whole heap of information online. The key thing for food businesses is we need to exercise more. MPI, in their wisdom, have said you will do a recall test. And everyone goes, I'm safe, I've passed the test. That's rubbish. We need to exercise more. We need to exercise our systems. We need to have a way of making sure that we're going to be match fit for the things that we are not planning for. Because all of those things are coming down the track. We have heard that this morning. You know, it might be sea level rise. It might be storm surge. It might be a volcano. You name it. If we exercise more, we will, we don't rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our training, and we're not doing enough. And like anyone who is on a fitness journey and turned their life around by running, you don't run a marathon by getting up and running a marathon. You start getting fit. It improves your resilience and your capability, and you keep exercising all the time. So we need to do a few things to improve our state of readiness, right? I'm a firefighter. We don't have plans for everything. We've got trucks, we've got people, and we've got a set of skills that we just apply to everything we turn up to. Person in tree, animal in tree, vehicle in tree. It's just stuff in tree, right? Let's get to work. You need to have a focus on a few things: objectives, structures, resources, plans, and communications. They are pretty much the 5 things which will underpin your ability to be able to respond. Objectives are simple. These should be cast in gold stone, written on above every urinal, on the back of every toilet door in every food business. Objectives in emergency management are really simple. I'm not going to kill anyone. I'm not going to allow the people that I have to have life-changing injuries, right? Not that different from food businesses at the moment. I'm not going to send the business broke. Well, I work for Fens, so there's a moot point there. We will get back to business as usual as quickly as we can, because when I'm back to business as usual, I'm back to a point of food safety. The last one at the bottom is the real challenging one for food businesses, because we're no longer operating business as usual, because when we're business as usual, I make safe food. We're not there anymore. So when you're making decisions for your objectives to respond to whatever is taking your business out of action, food safety is never in doubt. That is a very high bar. So you go, I've had a fire in one of my chillers and there's been a whole heap of smoke damage, but I've got packaged food down here and another one 4 compartments over. It smells a bit funky, but that should go away. Is that food safe? Do you think there is a doubt? Because there'll be people there that'll be going, oh, well, that smell will go away. That'll be fine. But really in the back of your mind, you're going, oh, I'm going to make my fire situation worse by having a food recall on top, because I have doubt. It's covered by insurance, ladies and gentlemen. Just add it to the bill. All right. So I've got objectives there. Standing round, you've got objectives. It's a different slide in my order. I must have flicked them around. That's okay. So we need plans. Right, you need to have a planned response, and you're not trying to plan it for just recall or fire or flood or climate change. You're just saying we need to execute our contingency, our response. We need to respond to that. Right, plans are great, provides some framework, they're fluid. You only need to be ahead of your team by 1 step to be leading, right? Races are a matter of millimeters. It's the same in real life. You need to be there for the first 2 hours. Have a plan, because remember, you're going to exercise these things. If you've got a plan for the first 2 hours, that's fine, because it gives you 2 hours of activity, which you then move on to with the plan that you've made in that next 2 hours to move on to the 8 hours to move on and move on. It's only by exercising these plans you see the gaps. You need to have a structure. The structure, all hazards, all incidents, creating order from chaos and getting back to stable. You need 3 key features: incident controller, an operations person, a planning person. Incident controller is not doing business as usual. While all this response is going on, you've still got business as usual happening, especially in food businesses now. Your internet presence is still going. Your social media is still going. Your couriers are still dropping stuff off. Your truckers are still turning up to pick stuff up. You need to be having that business as usual. Payroll still needs to be paid. All those things need to keep going. You need to have a person who is just looking after the response. And they're just focusing on the 2 other people in there. Who's doing stuff and who's planning stuff. If you don't have that, you get compromised. You've got a business owner making decisions about a response who is thinking about my bottom line, my impact on and this is where people are trying to do the right thing off the reservation, doing the right thing, not getting the risks right. So yeah, those 3 are good. The most important aspect is these 3 people are not just the only 3 people. When you call up on Christmas Eve at 4:30 to wherever you are working in a food business and say, we've got a problem, you have to choose those 3 people then, because they're getting started for those first 2 hours, and then you'll have the cavalry come in and take over. So think about your incident management team and your structure as having a squad of people that you choose from. Resources, we can't do anything without what you have. Know what you've got, know where it is, know where you can get the next lot. You'll consume resources and incident response, including people, at an alarming rate. There will be people there that are 8-hour people. There'll be people there that'll be 2-hour people. Don't expect they're all the same. You will need help. So get set up. You'll only know that by doing the exercises. If they've got PPE, if you're cleaning, you're going to go through prodigious amounts of material. But the more important thing, and probably the fundamental one, is none of it works without effective communication. There's a few different lenses that you need to communicate with, and there's a style that I'm using today, which is conditions, actions, needs. You need to talk about the conditions. You need to give people an operational context so they know this is the framework that I'm working in, right? You need to give them their actions. This is what we are going to do or what we're going to do next. And then you talk about the needs. I need you to, or next you will do. It's very easy for exchanging information very quickly in two directions. If you look at MPI, and this is the one big tick I'll give them, whenever there's a food recall, they talk about the conditions. This product of these dates has this issue. You may have found it in these locations. The action is, please don't eat it. And next, if you have questions, call us or take it back to the retailer. Conditions, actions, needs works really well. That part of MPI does it really well. Biosecurity's got some way to go. Okay. Plans. People go, oh, how can I plan my communications? You have a recall test. So use it as the exercise it is. Get all your staff together, because you will. Get them in a room. Get the whānau together and say, we're doing our mock recall exercise. If we were having a recall, we'd get you all in here and we'd tell you what's going on so you can take that information back. Any questions? And people would say, oh, if we had a recall, would we get paid? You go, right, tick that off. Add that to the exercise plan. Everyone gets paid. Oh, can I still take holiday on Saturday if there was a recall? Yes, that is normal. It's the only way of improving your capability is to get to that point in it. Talking to other businesses, to the rest of your businesses, to the rest of your sector. If you do that, you are sharing the knowledge. You are growing the community as well. Your neighbours, they want to know what's going on, because it won't be a recall. It'll be a fire. It'll be the environmental leak that's just gone down the river. It will be the fact that your power has taken out the whole block. And hopefully you'll never get to this level up here, which are the rare visitors. The investigators, WorkSafe, MPI, local council, the media. You need to have a plan for dealing with it. Your legal advisors will say always the same thing, no comment. When somebody says that to you, when you've asked them a simple question, is there something going on in the fence, behind the fence, and you go, no comment, what do they think? You've lost all credibility. Talk about what you know. You know about the conditions. You know about the actions, and you can talk about what's happening next. That whole framework is used at every level up there, from the whānau through to the hapori and up to the rare visitors. Those things that you pay for every day in taxes, but you hope you never get to see. Okay, so we know that our current plans like recall tests are a great place to work around. We know that we can, but we do have an action. We need to build our business and our capability up so that we can have an event at 4:30 this Christmas Eve and know that everything is going to be okay, because your team that you've picked your little incident management team out of know what they're going to do for the first few hours. You know that you're going to have to go home and exercise this. You are going to have to intentionally go, I'm going to turn my server off and bring it back up from backups on Monday morning when we're really busy, because the world will not wait for you to go, oh, actually, I'm going to tell you now we're going to have an issue on Thursday at lunchtime. If you need some guidance and support, I'm here today. You can find my profile. I love writing exercises, so it's good fun. The sooner you get through to the point where you understand how your incident management response works, you will then be able to stand there and go, I don't need to do anything at the moment. Because often, especially workers, feel like the moment there's an incident, we need to do something. You go, no, actually, that's not part of the plan at the moment. But if you've planned those first few hours, they've got something to do. Idle hands, devil's work, best intentions. If you have your prepared plans and you've exercised them, that gives you the space to get ahead of the incident. That allows you to start managing and not reacting. All too often, businesses will start a recall going, I'm following my recall plan. Then they'll realize the incident is actually a long way down the road from where I thought. We're now 2 days production. We're now 4 SKUs. We're now distributing overseas if you're Tasty or some other companies which have had recalls, right? Build your response plan to be all hazards and all incidents. And the sum up of course, is there is no such thing as bad weather. It's just poor clothing choices, right? And we've heard about it all through. It's adverse weather. We've had Gabriel. It's going to happen. It's not a matter of if, it is when. These are known probabilities. You're just hoping it's not your lifetime, but you can actually leave a legacy when your people that move on after you are here and ready for it. So, done. Right.